Are you thinking of moving out of Toronto? Did you know that nearly 100,000 people left Toronto in just 1 year? If you're one of those Toronto residents, don't consider purchasing a home in Collingwood or the Blue Mountains without knowing these 5 things that you might hate about it. I've spent most of my life in the Blue Mountains, but lived in Toronto downtown for about 8 years or so I know all about moving to an Ontario small town from the big city. Number 1, fewer retail chains, restaurant options, and services. Living in Toronto or any larger city center, you have access to a huge array of dining options and retail chain stores. No matter how unique your personal style or how crazy the craving, you can find exactly what you are looking for in the city. Moving to Southern Georgian Bay, which is made up of a collection of small villages and towns, with Collingwood being the largest hub, we just don't have the same plethora of retail chain stores and restaurant options. So, if you have an insatiable craving for rare cuisine or consider yourself a mall rat, you might feel like a fish out of water here. While you won't find every chain imaginable, we do have many cafes and award-winning restaurants. Plus, our boutique shops offer a unique shopping experience better than any mall, in my opinion. Number 2, lack of anonymity. It is true what they say about small towns. Even if you don't know what you're doing, everyone else does. What I've heard from a lot of Toronto residents who have moved to the smaller towns in Southern Georgian Bay is that they were surprised at the lack of anonymity. Small population means that we notice the new guy. And small town culture means we'll probably go out of our way to say hi. This can be jarring when you're just trying to get to the grocery store in your PJ pants for some munchies. But on the flip side, you can feel like a true part of the community here. Number 3, transportation. Transportation is a bit different here. Our rural setting means you'll need a car or sometimes 2 depending on your family's needs. There is some public transportation in Collingwood, but anyone who's used to just jumping on the subway to get wherever they like will find it limited. The good news? Traffic is a breeze here and you'll always get to where you're going on time. Number 4, the weather. The Blue Mountains is no doubt one of the few small Ontario towns that does a little happy dance when the weather turns cold. That means that the snow's about to fly and ski hills are about to open. But those inside cat personalities may find our winters on the shore of Georgian Bay can be long and bitterly cold. School closures due to bus cancellations and road closures due to inclement weather are the norm. There's not much you can do about it, but I always say if you can't beat them, join them. So get a 5x7 ski pass at the Blue Mountains and enjoy that snow. Number 5, the slower pace. When I first moved back to the Blue Mountains from Toronto, the slow pace of country living was jarring. I'd walk into a coffee shop ready to jostle in line and realize the barista was just chatting to a regular and no one was in a rush for their venti 7-pump no foam extra hot vanilla latte. It took a few deep breathing exercises, but I got used to it, and hey, isn't that why you're moving up from Toronto anyways? I've shared the 5 things that you may not like about moving from Toronto to Southern Georgian Bay and its smaller communities. You might be wondering if there are any redeeming qualities about this area, and yes, there are many reasons why Collingwood is one of the fastest growing towns in Canada, and Blue Mountains continue to be a destination for young families moving out of the city. Tune in to my next video where I'll share why I love living in the Blue Mountains and why you will too. If you have any questions about moving to Collingwood, the Blue Mountains, or any other Southern Georgian Bay neighborhood, please get in touch. Give me an email or a call. I'm always happy to talk about my local area.